Tonight on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror, how many eggs can one detective eat while investigating a whole bunch of sleazy murders? Well, find out with tonight's movie, Giallo in Venice.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror! Triskaidekaphilia! And tonight, I think it's time to delve into the realm of the psychosexual horror. And the first one in this, I guess, subgenre of the deviant and debauch is going to be a little Giallo. A Giallo that has Giallo in its name, yes, and that is Giallo in Venice. Giallo in Venice. So what is Giallo in Venice about? Well, it starts off with a couple. The husband is brutally murdered, stabbed multiple times in the guts, and the wife drowned in the water, her body taken from the water and placed next to the husband. And of course, the police are tasked with investigating what exactly happened. And the lead investigator is a real egg-eating fellow, and I don't mean that as an insult. He's literally eating eggs in practically every scene he's in. I mean, if he doesn't have a hard-boiled egg in one hand and a salt shaker in the other hand, I don't know if it's the real guy. Honestly, I don't think he knows what to do with his hands other than that. So anyways, he finds the friend of the wife's name Flavia, and finds her friend, and that woman discloses that not everything is all hunky-dory in the marital land of this couple. In fact, the husband has quite the proclivities. Yes, he just really can't do it normally. He needs a lot of fetishes. He's really into having people watch them do things. He's really into watching other people do things with his wife. And he's a bit sadistic in the fact that he likes to be a little rough, and perhaps too rough for the wife, and that has really kind of eroded the marriage. And apparently this friendship that the wife Flavia has with this woman also led to them kind of having orgies with the woman and prostitutes and her boyfriend, and that really kind of paints a really sick and twisted picture of these people's lives. Well, anyways, apparently that friend has an ex-boyfriend who is obsessed with her. In fact, he's very creepy, always calling her, leaving her threatening messages. Well, when one of the prostitutes that was in the orgies with these people ends up being brutally murdered by said ex-boyfriend, all signs point to him being the culprit, as he one by one seems to be dispatching those who were involved in that sick sexual games. I mean, apparently, he needs to protect the purity of his love and all those corrupting forces, perhaps. I don't know. But is he actually the one responsible for the couple's death? Or is this all a distraction from the real murder? Well, you only have to find out by watching Giallo in Venice. So let's get to those scores, shall we? Violence and gore. I am giving this a 4 out of 5. There isn't a lot of murder in this movie, but they are pretty brutal. I mean, the kill with the prostitute is just it is, and they did not pull any punches. They were just, yeah. And of course, one of the kills Kind of reminds me of Flowers of Flesh and Blood. Maybe not as elaborate, but I mean, someone tied to a table and then being just dissected. In fact, like when he's cutting through the person's leg, the guy's got these mirrored glasses, and you can just see in the reflection the cutting and the terror and the. In fact, during that, the victim passes out, and he's like, "No, no, wake up! I want you completely aware of what's going on right now." So, I mean, it is brutal. It is bloody. It's a bit overkill too. Like, God, shoot someone a few times and then set them on fire. Just anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna. It's not the quantity, it's the quality, it's the brutality of this. 4 out of 5. Moving on to shock value, I'm giving this a 3 out of 5. And yes, a lot of it is the shock of what's going on here. Also, kind of the shock of the sick psychosexual proclivities and basically how he treats his relationship with his wife. And you really do feel for Flavia, because she is just so victimized in this movie, and it's really sad, honestly. And she still loves her husband, and she wants to please her husband, and it's sad. It's really sad. So anyways, 3 out of 5. Also, kind of a interesting twist ending. Unfortunately, I figured it out, but it was actually well done. Follows with logic, and it involves a little misdirection, which I thought was pretty cool. So, shock value 3 out of 5. So going into plot, I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 5. Like I said, the misdirection's interesting. The storyline and the characters are interesting. You kind of have like all these flashbacks of what was going on between the husband and the wife, trying to fill in the gaps of the story while they're investigating what's going on. Because at first they thought, well, they found cocaine, so maybe this was like a drug thing, and then maybe this is somehow involved with their sexual activities, and perhaps it's the ex-boyfriend who's being really creepy, and then we find out is being very murderous. Or there's other people that kind of gotten involved in that group that may or may not have a motive to do that. So it's definitely keeps you guessing, and it's not overly red herring. I mean, like you get the ex-boyfriend, and like he is a murderer. He is a psychopath. And so I don't think it's like forcing this on him. It's naturally part of the story. So anyways, I don't know, 3.5 out of 5. Enjoyed it. Acting, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. Some of it is the usual fare, but I think the lead detective does a pretty good job. You've got a discount Italian Telly Savalas as one of the investigators. I think the ex-boyfriend comes off really like you would expect a cold-hearted psychopathic bastard would be. And honestly, I think the performances are good enough. You really do develop this sort of empathy for Flavia, and you can see like her angst and her hurt when it comes to like these situations, and you kind of also see the sort of derangement in her husband. So yeah, I think they did a pretty good job all around. 3 out of 5. Moving on to Nudity, and that is a 5 out of 5. Like there is especially a scene where it's just a lot, just a lot. But yeah, this movie is just filled with it. There are sex scenes that take quite a bit of time. The murders also are involved in there somewhere. It's a lot. It's a lot. 5 out of 5. I mean, you got like a lot of sex scenes. It's a movie about sort of this sexual sort of obsession and fetishism, and so with those themes, it's all over the place. So 5 out of 5. Moving on to enjoyment factor, and I'm going to give this a 3.5 out of 5. The kills are brutal. They are bloody. They are nasty. They are shocking. We're not talking about like Terrifier range, but like kind of mean spirited in the same way, though. It's a brutal movie. It's also intellectual. It has an interesting story. It follows logic. It gives you some misdirection, which I will always enjoy. And plus, it has the kind of Italian giallo feel and staples to it. The mirror things in the glasses of the killer, really cool. You have some quirky characters in there, and it hits a lot of the right notes. Perhaps the sex stuff is a bit overdone, and there is some moments with the flashbacks I would say were unnecessary and sort of drag the movie a little bit, because we already got the picture. We got the picture. We don't need to see as much going on to establish the sort of situation that leads to the end of the movie. But overall, very good, very, very solid, very memorable film. So 3.5 out of 5. And my overall impression is also a 3.5 out of 5. It is a memorable Giallo, if not what someone would call mean-spirited. It is a mean movie, and it is very violent and angry, and one could say that it hates women, because the women killed here really in brutal fashions. But then again, like the guys that got killed, I mean, the dude got fucking shot several times and then set on fire while he was still alive. That's fucking brutal, dude. I don't know what it is. And plus, getting stabbed like several times in the guttural area, I don't think is very pleasant at all. But yes, like the other kills, like the torturous kill, I get it. Anyways, so you got to be warned about that. Like if your sexual violence really kind of bothers you, this not the movie for you. This is not the movie for you. But if it doesn't bother you that much, it's definitely got some memorable kills, some memorable moments. It's very sleazy at times. So, so 3.5 out of 5 overall impression. That averages out to a really big 3.6 out of 5, hitting those bonus points quite a bit. So there you have it. Giallo in Venice. The first of these psychosexual type horror movies. I'm going to review another one tomorrow night. And so for all those who don't enjoy that, I'm sorry. But that's it for this episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror. Thank you for watching. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. Do you want more reviews of that type of content, or do you want less reviews of that kind of content? I mean, no one's watching at this point, so no one's going to say anything. In fact, I have asked for comments every video, and honestly, we just don't get any because no one's watching. No one cares. I've got to inspire something out of you people, right? Some sort of something, as opposed to just first. Thanks, Jim. Mr. Thug. anyways, thank you for watching another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror. I don't know why I'm complaining. It's that time of year. And remember, internet, to stay scary. And also, look. I get it. You know, you've got some fetishes, you've got some proclivities, but man, you need to know how to read the room. Because if your woman is just not feeling it, she's not into it, man, just let it go. Just let that go. Just let it go, because you know the relationship is more important than your nut, man. I swear it is. It is. I know this day and age. This day and age, I know the nut seems to be the most important thing for everyone, but no, it's not. It's not. It's just a little part, because you know eventually you're gonna lose that ability, and then you're gonna be left with this person, and so you better actually have a real relationship. Otherwise, you know, what's left, right? So, yeah, I mean, it's not worth it, right? The nut isn't worth it. Besides, if you've gotten to the point where you can't, unless you're doing something creepy, freaky, it's time to consult a professional to fix your issues, man. And I tell you, those are issues and they need to be fixed. I'm sorry. YouTube can fuck itself if this is like, oh, that's hate speech. Their fetishes, their reality, and their reality and their identity. It's like, no, your fetish is not your identity. Don't lower yourself into that, sir. You are much more than a fucking fetish. All right? Have some self-respect. Okay, I'm gone way crazy here. Blah!